2D platforming was all the rage during the 4th console generation. But when the 5th generation came along, it was an entirely different story. The industry was scrambling to develop 3D-style games. As a result, the number of 2D platformers being developed declined massively. Rayman is one of the 2D survivors of this period, and judging by how beautiful it still looks today, that sudden rush to 3D back then may have been premature.
Nature and people live together in peace.
In the cartoony world in which Rayman lives, a magical object was stolen, which threw the world off balance, causing hostile creatures to appear and causing the good creatures to become captured. Rayman has to go and retrieve this stolen object, and if he desires, free the captured creatures he encounters along the way. Rayman gains a lot of abilities early on in the game. Most important of these is the ability to throw his hands at the enemies. Eventually he'll be able to grab ledges, run, and hover for a couple of seconds. In some portions of the game, Rayman will gain an ability specific to that stage, such as unlimited hovering or flower planting. The aesthetic charm of the game is hard to ignore. The screen is bursting with colorful details, the animation is smooth as butter, and the music is peaceful. It all makes for a relaxing mood. But once you get a few stages into the game, it becomes anything but relaxing. There's bottomless pits, water that instantly drowns, erratic enemies, hard to time jumps, and a limited number of continues. Of all the games I've reviewed so far on Gaming the Systems, this is by far the hardest. There have been portions of games I've reviewed that were much harder than Rayman, such as the nightmarish Icy Lake stage in Mr. Bones. But Rayman's high difficulty is spread evenly throughout. Each stage is like a mini icy lake. I should add, Rayman's challenge is not the result of sloppy programming or bad controls. It is simply a design choice by the developer. Whether or not it makes the game more enjoyable or less enjoyable depends on who you are. For me, it reduced the fun quite a bit. I kept having to retread the same stages over and over again. Stages that were already long to begin with. The high difficulty can also take a toll on the fun of exploration. There are hidden bonus stages, one-ups, and caged animals all over the place. But searching for these is more trouble than it's worth. The stages are just too hazardous to be taking side trips. It's best to just get to the exit as fast as possible. Despite the difficulty, there's still a lot of fun platforming to be had. The gameplay style changes drastically from stage to stage, giving each one a unique feel. And the boss battles are creatively designed. If you plan on getting this game, you'll have plenty of versions to choose from. There are differences between them, but not enough for me to make a recommendation. They all pretty much play the same. Here's how I would sum up the whole Rayman experience. It's a beautifully rendered game with solid platforming gameplay, perfect controls, and charming music, but the difficulty can make it a pain in the ass to play. If you want to give it a shot, be sure to bring your A game.
Fanboyish.